Hey everybody, Ranjan here, bringing you another StarCraft commentary. Took my time, jeez. Got my water, got my beverage, got my video, got my personality and sense of humor. Group F, first set of Group F. In the round of 16 of Lost Saga MSL, people are ready for an epic PvT, or a TVP, if that's how you prefer to say it. I am not judgmental in such matters. So first off, who do we have? The Otter Terran, the Genius Terran, the Tornado Terran, the hero of Pantech, NaDa. Well, not Pantech anymore, but still the hero of ex-Pantech. This is a guy who's been around for a while, and he has done it all. He is no stranger to this scene, but he hasn't been playing nearly at the level that he used to at one point. We're going to see whether he can perform now. He's come to the round of 16, and we're going to see how he does here. I definitely think with the opponent that he's going to be facing up against, he has a chance to get through here. He's going to be facing against the rookie Tempest, and that sign says NaDa is the man, he's the tornado, he's going to kill everybody. Tempest doesn't have a chance. I have no idea if it actually says that, but that's what I think it is. That's what I think it says. So he's up against Tempest, the guy who cheesed his way into the round of 16 against Fantasy, and I definitely don't think he's going to be able to cheese his way all the way through to the round of 8, though, especially not with NaDa on his tail. He is the new promising Protoss of KTF, Majinx. Now that Backo is out there with a slip disc, and thank God for that. No hate for Backo, though. We're going to see overall how this new guy manages. He, despite being a cheeser, he has shown that he has very, very good skills, having the legendary 32-kill Dragoon. The creator of the Mangoon, as you would say, I suppose. Go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! PvT for you guys! Oh, it actually says TVP. Well, TVP, PvT, blah, blah. So, on destination, in, what is that? Teal, aquamarine, whatever that color is. That is NaDa at 11 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock in orange, we're going to have Protoss Tempest. It's going to be on destination. Fairly equal between the races. Although the Terrans do have a slight advantage due to those lovely, lovely, lovely bridges that you get for yourself to use at your leisure and pleasure and all that funky, funky, funky stuff. You get your natural, you get your small ramp into your natural, that is, yes. You got 2 bridges, then you got 3 bridges along the middle, 2 more bridges that go into your enemy, and you have an expansion to your, well, depending on how you look at it, say, to your left, suppose. Well, at the bottom to your left, the upper to your right. At the 8 o'clock and at the 2 o'clock, you have gas expansions. Then at the corners of the map, the upper right-hand corner, the lower left-hand corner, you have mineral onlys that are fairly easy to hold. But from that location, your natural can also be harassed, so you got to be very careful. There are bases at both sides of the middle overall. And now a probe game inside. Tempest managing to sneak his scouting probe inside. NaDa trying to prevent that from happening. That's not going to happen. I'm going to see. Oh, probe almost in time to steal. I guess NaDa holding off for the last second to put down his refinery. So no early harassment there, economic harassment from Tempest. But yeah, overall, you have 2 bases. As I was saying, at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, natural corner expos that you can get for gas. If you can get those and hold those, you're going to have a gas advantage. And then, of course, there are also gas expansions very, very close to your main, just off to the side. If you're at the 5 o'clock, it's just a little bit to the 4 o'clock, and one at the 11 o'clock as well. Meanwhile, it seems that Tempest might be thinking of doing a fairly quick expansion here. Ooh, wow, Nexus. That's fairly early from him for an expansion. Very, very early from him. Meanwhile, Barracks now coming down for NaDa, so it's always very, very tech early. And Tempest going for a very, very early Nexus. I believe that's a 14 Nexus. And we're going to see whether that manages to pay off for him. So he's definitely going for a economic game. He wants to keep this going on for a while. NaDa now mining gas, getting ready for his factory. We're going to see what kind of build that he goes for. He's definitely scouted this with that SCV, so he knows what's coming. Female Gateway now coming up for Tempest. We're going to see whether NaDa goes factory into expansion. Looking at the polls, quite a few people think that NaDa's going to take this, and I perfectly understand why they would think so. NaDa now moving away with his scouting SCV and almost killing that scouting probe of Tempest's. Not quite managing. The scouting probe stays alive. Gonna wait for the first Marine to take care of it. Scouting probe running around trying to do some sort of harassment, prevent buildings from coming up. Doing a fairly decent job delaying that factory a little bit, so we are going to see a factory coming from NaDa before we're going to see whether he goes for the factory into expansion. Now that probe's finally going to run away with that Marine out there. I don't know if it got killed or not, but it's going to be folded away. Cybernetics Corner coming up for Tempest as well. He should be putting down his second gateway after that. First Marine is going to meanwhile run around a little bit for NaDa, get some scouting, possibly do some damage. Okay, we're going to see... Oh, okay, NaDa apparently not thinking of putting down Sasha, moving that down that SCV. I'm going to see what he does with that. He might actually be thinking of putting down a base somewhere else. I'm not going to see what happens. First factory almost not ready for NaDa. It seems that it's NaDa using that SCV to scout around. Probably going to get a full-on scout before he decides to do anything. So he is, meanwhile, getting down at factory. We're going to see whether he goes for an expansion after that second gateway. Now coming up for Tempest, starting mining gas fully now. So we're going to have some Dragoons coming up ready for him. Meanwhile, the SCV's running around. Ooh. Just a little bit of proxying from NaDa here. Tornado Terran goes for a proxy at the 4 o'clock location. Going to build that factory there, so it's going to be 2 facts. And he still has some Marines standing around at the bridges, being ready to prevent scouting. So that's why he has the Marines there at those bridges to make sure that a probe doesn't run around and spot the fact that NaDa has no expansion. Meanwhile, now Cybernetics Corps bidding for Tempest. So he's going to go for... start pumping Dragoons from 2 gates while he gets his expansion going. First machine shop now out for... NaDa is going to probably start getting some vultures out in the field. He is, meanwhile, pumping some Marines as well just to prevent that exact probe scout from getting anything going. First Dragoons now out as well. We're going to see whether NaDa has enough troops to prevent that. As one Zealot as well running around. We're going to see. I don't think that's going to spot that factory. The factory's not going to get spotted. I think Tempest is going to assume that NaDa went for an expansion first. And oh, NaDa is going to float that factory inside of Tempest. Basically going to try to get some vultures going. It's a very, very interesting early tease. Going to see whether... a little kid sitting there with a sign, and unfortunately no idea what that sign says, with some kids enjoying some StarCrafts. And okay, NaDa has successfully floated that factory into Tempest space. We're going to see whether it has anything there. Meanwhile, Zealot now attacking, and there's a tank and Marines trying to prevent that. NaDa just trying to hold this off as long as he can. He has that one tank. Going to see whether it is the Tempest managed to break through. Tempest does not break through and probably does not get the scout. Okay, probably, definitely does not get the scout. Probably has no idea that NaDa has those vultures. They're going to see whether those get spotted. There were some Dragoons moving towards the location. Actually, no. The Dragoons moving off, but nothing. It hasn't been spotted yet. Meanwhile, NaDa just building up a small force of vultures inside before he probably floats away the barrack to get as many vultures as he can, then go around and start harassing that economy. Meanwhile, there was a robotics facility getting ready. Mines just now ready, and those 2 vultures going to run around. Tempest is not going to see this. Mines being planted everywhere, so Dragoons can't move towards them. Meanwhile, now Tempest doing a pretty good counterattack, has lost 2 Dragoons in the process, but also running around not doing too much damage. NaDa just harassing those foes, doing fairly good damage. Tempest pulling some and engaging, actually taking out one vulture. Bad micromanagement there from NaDa, should be able to prevent that. Overall, NaDa though trying to prevent those Dragoons from moving in on his own base. Ooh, one Dragoon walk into a mine, the other one getting damaged. Robotics facility now coming up, vultures still in there inside. Second, more vultures now being produced, mines being planted. And we're going to see whether there's going to be a drag or not. He's trying to get a drag, oh, probe gets taken down. Oh, I'm sorry, mine gets taken down. I meant to say mine. Oh man, NaDa almost could have had, if that one mine would have gone, so many probe kills would have been accomplished. Too bad there. But NaDa's still doing a good job, planting mines everywhere, making Tempest having to ferry his probes around, and just all in all, just doing very bad things to his economy. I think NaDa at this point has already, I think, floated away that factory, so that factory is not in any danger. But meanwhile, there's still those vultures around, still planting mines anywhere, even more vultures, 2 vultures, and flying around trying to do killing as many probes as he can. There have been several probe kills for him so far. I saw 1 vulture that just died with a mine going off, killing some more probes, I believe, and doing some damage to Dragoons. Observatory now out for Tempest. Tempest forced another, and another mine goes off, kills a probe as well as a Dragoon, damages another Dragoon as well. So not all in all, with very good harassment here, running around with Vulture, and Tempest just not quite marking his Dragoons as well as he should be able to. Just trying to run out with all those mines, just trying to chop around as much as he can. Mines going off, not kill. Oh, another Dragoon falls to random mines. Perfect mine placement there from NaDa. NaDa moving in with more vultures. No mining at the natural for Tempest. So Tempest now in very, very early trouble. Such a beautiful, aggressive build from NaDa, moving in with nothing but vultures, doing so much harassment. Has, meanwhile, established his own natural expansion. and just trying to do as aggressive as he can, planting mines everywhere, getting some probes along with Dragoon, giving more probes, mining gas with those mines. Wow, beautiful job there by NaDa, all in all, doing so much harassment. Don't really know. Tempest such a huge job with just trying to produce Dragoons as much as he can prevent, but those mines being laid at all perfect locations. One mine get taken out before it could go down. I believe that was the last vulture. That factory is still in position. I think at this point should have been spotted. If it hasn't been, there's something wrong with Tempest. So he's now moving Dragoons towards that position. Gonna try to take that out. Gonna see what NaDa floats their way. Meanwhile, more probes being killed there by NaDa's vulture. Wow, NaDa just doing a good job overall. But no, not actually being persistent. He's still using a factory to build vultures. You might even think of simply sacrificing that, trying to get as many units there going as possible. Just vultures, planting mines everywhere, doing as much damage as he can. Even more vultures are going. Now going to focus a little bit on that Nexus at the natural expansion.